Good evening. This is the Newbury Zoning Board meeting. Today is Thursday, November 20th, 2025, 7:30 p.m. at the Newbury Municipal Office in Byfield, Mass. Present tonight is Jack Kelly, a member, Michelle Wadler, associate member, Chrissy Dupree, the ZBA administrator, and my name is Mario Carnevale, and I will be acting as the chair this evening. So, Jack, if you want to read the first one.
Very good. The first one is Michelle Laconzolo, 25 Harvard Way. The applicant is requesting a special permit / finding for relief from sections 97-4D5C01, increase in footprint, and 02, increase of height of the Newbury zoning bylaws, and any other relief as may be required under the Town of Newbury's zoning bylaws to allow the proposed use project for additions and renovations to the existing dwelling, which consists of an expanded deck, a screened-in porch, an enclosed entry stair with mudroom, and a new exterior stair up to a roof deck. The property located at 25 Harvard Way, Plum Island, Newbury, Mass. 01951, Assessor's Map U01, Lot 154B. The project was approved with conditions at last hearing. Approval decision to be drafted and reviewed at tonight's hearing.
And this evening we received an email that Michelle Laconzolo has requested a continuation for our next meeting, January 15th, 2026. So if anyone, motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the applicant's request for continuance.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
The next item is 2-8 Old Point Road, Sunset Club. It's a discussion on minor versus major changes / modifications to a ZBA previously approved pavilion structure site plans, which were submitted to the planning board. The applicant has submitted photos of the proposed pavilion for review, and there are a new set of photographs provided by the applicant for review at this hearing.
Is there anything you want to say, or?
I think the solution we came up with for the, you guys suggested 25 to 35% open on the gable ends, and to us what really made the most sense was to do kind of a louvered plank that, I think you guys got the diagram, but it was like a 5-inch, I believe, slat at a 45-degree angle that would create 50% openness, which we think is reasonable, and it would allow us to accomplish what we want as far as blocking rain and sunlight and stuff. So, and I think it would really create that sense of openness when you're driving up or looking at it from the street. So,
Was it the picture I saw looked like it was actually like a metal kind of structure? I mean, are you mentioned planks? Are you thinking about vertical, horizontal planks?
yeah.
Not what you kind of submitted?
I thought what was submitted was the.
It looked like an enclosed kind of
This picture?
prefabricated.
Yeah, so that's just kind of showing the angle that they'd be at. It wouldn't be enclosed or anything. It would be
Just planks.
planks that were fixed at that angle.
Okay.
So it would allow air to pass through and light to pass through, and it would, it would be more than 25 or 35%, but it would still accomplish what we really want for protection. But they would go all the way across. Obviously, they would get smaller as they go up to the
Right.
peak, but it would be just like the clapboard look on the gable ends that we showed before, except they would angle 45 degrees.
Okay. And Eric has submitted a comment, so let me read that out loud.
Okay.
Chrissy, I've received the new renderings of the proposed gable end louvers for the Sunset Club. In my absence, please provide the following comments for the board's consideration. I believe that the proposed changes to the gable ends are minor. The pavilion size and locations are not changing. Open sides below the eaves remain consistent. The submitted site plan is unaffected. The proposal to enclose the gable ends above the eave line prompted discussion regarding openness, light leakage, airflow. In my view, enclosing the gable ends would benefit both the pavilion and the surrounding properties by reducing light leakage. At our last meeting, I suggested a percentage of openness as a middle ground between fully enclosed and fully open. I believe this can effectively achieve with either vertical or horizontal boards looking to a traditional building as precedent. I feel it's acceptable for those boards to be placed either in front or behind the end truss. After reviewing the proposed metal grille, I think that's that kind of the picture you kind of saw. I believe the louvers moved the design into an unintended direction, giving the pavilion a contemporary appearance that conflicts with the simplicity of the original concept. While I appreciate the effort to work collaboratively with the ZBI, I now feel enclosing the gable ends with boards without louvers provides the best overall aesthetic and functional solution. Thank you for considering my comments.
Thank you, Mario. And one thing I think we slipped on, I know we know who you are, but for the record, can you state who you are? Please?
Yeah, sorry, Jeff Christensen, former Cloud.
Okay.
Thank you.
My bad. Discussions, questions?
I still like the idea of having it partially open. So I think Eric's saying he's sort of okay having it fully enclosed. I guess I disagree with that. I think it's still, I prefer to still have it partially opened. I think, I'm thinking of this differently now. You know, when we first saw this, you know, I think we were thinking this was actually gonna be placed, you know, a louver like this into the gable end. I didn't even really know how that was gonna work. But, I mean, it allows airflow or light through, which to me I think is the most important thing, is that you can see through it. I wonder.
My only concern is.
I don't really, when it's up high like this.
Yeah, it looks enclosed.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, I was sort of thinking in my mind when people were talking about clapboards, that was something sort of like this, that just very simple. You know, so that you can still see through it, and you won't get direct light, direct sun, like it's still protected. Similar to, I think you have some other structures on your property that are sort of like trellises, right, that protect a little bit. Well, actually, maybe you don't have. Maybe you don't have.
We actually have horizontal louvers on the shed bar that when, like, it's got like flaps that can
They
open
collapse.
and close. When it's
Yeah.
closed, they actually have the horizontal louvers on there
Yeah.
as well. It's like a Bermuda blind, whatever they call them.
Yeah.
You just can't turn it with the rod, but they're fixed
Yeah.
at an angle. As far as other structures, I mean, we really just have the garage doors, and we've got like
And then
the
the
wooden
sails, right?
posts and the sails.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I was thinking there was like a trellis. But anyways, I guess, yeah, when I saw the conversation from last month, I wasn't here, sorry, but, and everyone was talking about clapboards, I thought, oh, that's like a really good solution. So, but yeah, in my mind, that meant more not on an angle, either just vertical, horizontal, but like, I think, you know, Mario maybe mentioned
Yeah,
the
just
skinny
close.
end is sort of the visible end.
Yep. Yeah, I guess, I mean, what we prefer would be to have the gables completely closed.
Right.
Yeah.
Just for protection, again, from the sun, the sunset getting in people's eyes and the rain and whatnot.
But you're the Sunset Club. Isn't that the point?
And I think by closing that, it changes the overall feel of the structure from like an open pavilion to something like a covered room or even a small building when you close everything. And I think that was not our expectation, that it was going to be kind of look like another building. It was more just going to be an open pavilion, kind of to, you know, if you're having, you know, a party out there that you can move people in, not to say, okay, hey, you know, now we have this covered building, now we're just going to like have functions there all the time. And it was more of a, you know, per incident, not like on a everyday basis that you would continue to have, you know, schedule things, rain or shine.
Yeah, I mean, it might be utilized on a regular basis, but it's meant mostly for the events, to have that extra space.
Yes.
Just like we mentioned before, for inclement weather, if someone wants to do a partial buyout, we call it, if there's even a threat of rain in the forecast, that whole event has to get moved into the garage area and the whole, we have to close to the public, so
Yeah.
this way it allows us to stay open.
Yeah, and again, I think our concern was making this kind of building appearance versus an open pavilion.
Yeah.
I think that was our goal.
Yeah, I think when.
Less permanent.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we first approved it, it was the idea that it was a pavilion, it was more of a roof structure, like Mario said, not an actual building. And once you start closing in the sides, even the gable ends, I think it starts becoming a more permanent building. And you just happen to be in a very pivotal location where people come over the island, this is the first thing they see. So I think we're very aware of sort of what that looks like.
Yeah.
Like the property across the street from you was before us, and we spent a really long time on
Restaurant.
yeah, where the Plum Island Grill is. We spent a really long time on aesthetics and what that was going to look like in terms of massing and feeling, because it is such a pivotal view when you come over the island.
Sure, yeah.
I was thinking, when we had our discussion last week, I was expecting, you know, I think the chairman stated it pretty well. The louver concept sort of shifts it in an unintended direction that none of us were expecting. I was expecting, after our conversation with Compromise last week, sort of a board and batten scenario without the batten, just the boards, whether horizontally or vertically. I don't think that's a huge factor, but that's kind of what I was expecting, not what we got, so. I don't know, I think, are we agreed that the louver thing is a non-starter?
I would agree with you, because I think it kind of takes all the light out. I mean, from that picture there is no light, it just looks like
A wall almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your thought, Jack?
Well, I'm not sure that without due respect, I'm not sure that the applicant presented us what we asked for, or that you understood it the same way we did. So maybe we could, I mean, I hate to make this poor guy keep coming back, but I don't think we got what we asked for. And I think we have a little bit gone out of our way to approve something that, you know, we approved a partial closing and we initially thought it was gonna be open. So it's not like we're not trying to work with you, but I'm not sure we've seen what we asked for. Am I stating that correctly?
Yeah, I think something to your rendition. Jack, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like a board and batten is, you know, boards with one over them in the middle, and that,
Either horizontals or verticals, I guess you guys can decide.
and that's what
But-
Michelle drew quickly and neatly.
Yeah, I guess for functionality, it's really gonna make, it's not the direction that would provide function for us, so
What about horizontal ones?
That's what it looks like in your pictures. You know,
I mean, that's what it is, it's just they're angled slightly, so it's really to try to deflect rainfall, you know, coming in from the sides as best we can, 'cause we're not allowed to put sides on it, as we all know. So whatever we can do to block the elements and the glare is really the goal for when people are, you know, seated or having a ceremony or whatever it is underneath there.
Would you say an angle greater of 45 would be better then? Like if it was more?
Well, I mean, you know, we have to do some serious math, but I don't think I know it says in the picture that it's whatever percentage open, but it sure doesn't look like, it looks like a solid wall of wood. You know, so there's no light coming through, so, you know, it's 5 inches, 4 inches
Yeah, I
wide.
think it's the angle of the
I think it depends
blade.
where you're standing or.
Yeah, the blade angle is
Yeah.
a 45-degree angle, excuse me, 45%.
Yeah, from far away, you're not gonna see any light, right?
But if you're standing on the ground looking up, you will see the light.
Yeah, but you're just looking at the roof. I mean, our whole idea was, you know, you're sitting, coming over the bridge, you have some openness, you know, because or else it's just a wall. And that's kind of what we didn't want with the roof, you know, when it was pivoted the other way, you come over and all you saw was the roof. And that's not really what, again, what it looks like a building now, another big building, and not an open pavilion.
Well, I guess, and it goes back to, I don't mean to try to come up with sneaky ideas, but when you guys suggested the gaps, I said, well, what's gonna prevent us from putting a pull-down shade behind it? It's not a permanent fixture, and I guess there's nothing to prevent that because it's not part of the building, so even if we had it completely open and we wanted to pull down a shade once in a while, it would still block the light from coming out, I guess. So, I mean, I'm not saying that's what we wanna do, but, trying to just think proactively about functional solutions.
You know, we did also, I had mentioned earlier today about potentially extending the short roof line out. You know, so then, you know, you wouldn't have, you'd be protected from the rain for sure. I don't know how far you'd have to go out to catch the sun.
Like past the trusses?
Past the trusses,
Like have
yeah.
an overhang.
Yeah, an overhang. I've seen some of those on other buildings.
Yeah,
And they do, you know, they clearly do stop the rain.
yeah.
Um,
I'm not sure, obviously we are building this on we have a budget in mind.
Sure.
I know the company that we're using, it's kind of like, you know, hey, what size do you want? It's all prefab.
It's all prefab, yeah.
So if it would add a custom element to the job, it might be kind of costly, but I'm not sure
Okay.
if that would be the case, but I would imagine so, just because it's kind of some of these are kind of out of the box
Uh-huh.
kind of jobs. But we certainly could, I think that aesthetically that would look nice, also, so we could certainly explore that.
Yeah, I think maybe what we're saying is if you can explore a couple more renditions and, you know, present to the board again, you know, this is not our intent to have you come back 3 times.
Right.
We just want to get it right for everybody.
Yeah, especially because there's no meeting next month.
Yeah.
It's the first thing when you see when you come on.
I know, you're just such a pivotal point, you know, that it does make a difference to the neighborhood, I think, what you end up building here.
Sure. I own 12 homes surrounding it. I care what it looks like.
Yeah. I mean, I've been trying to think of other solutions also. I mean, I'm trying to think of like a transparent material or something, even though unfortunately over time that sometimes gets kind of gross looking. You know, it can get dirty and it can get, but I guess that would block out rain, but still visually would look open and you could still, I guess the sun, it wouldn't solve that problem. But it would block out rain.
Yeah, something like that. I think I would be open to, you know, I'm used to exploring and pivoting and, you know, coming up with it. So, I'm not gonna make that call for the other,
Yeah.
people involved tonight. You
Yeah.
know, I know we all really want to push for the close, but I know that there has to be a compromise.
So would you be, instead of outright rejecting it, should we just give a continuance?
And I would recommend that we have like a number of options, not just 2 or 3, you know, like let's come up with some options and we can say, hey, this looks great.
Okay.
Motion?
I make a motion that we continue the hearing to allow the applicant to explore some other avenues and come back to us.
January
Oh.
15th.
Excuse me,
I
the
don't know
date
if
would
we
be.
have the right to, I don't know if we have the right to wait. Because we meet the 3rd Thursday of the month, so even though there's nothing new, I think we have to continue
Oh,
to
okay.
December 18th.
December
The
18th.
normally regularly scheduled.
Sorry, we
meeting.
thought we weren't going to have a
I
meeting.
know.
We
We
can
don't
meet
have
next
anything new.
Is that enough time for you?
Oh, certainly. Yeah, that would be.
Okay.
Sorry,
perfect.
guys.
So,
Good point.
thank you, good catch, Chrissy.
Sorry.
The motion is amended to have meet here at the Newbury Town Hall Thursday, December 18th, 7:30.
Great.
I guess just the other thing too is on the agenda, it says discussion on minor versus major change. I think we've all agreed it's a minor change. right?
Yeah, so we don't have to
We
come
all-
back.
Yeah,
We
so
don't
we
have to-
Okay.
we don't need to talk on that point anymore. I think
Perfect.
we all agree because a major change would be like a whole different process. So I think we're all agreed it's a minor change.
Second?
It's like,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right,
Thank you.
let's get it done.
See you next month.
Thanks.
Just submit a week before the Thursday before for supplemental. Thanks, Jeff.
thank you.
I don't think we have, anything else? Anything else?
So, sorry, but so for the first item though, is that also continued to next month now that we're gonna be here?
No, she specifically
Oh, okay.
requested, I gave her
Okay,
the
sorry.
option,
Okay.
and she said that's not enough time, so she chose the 15th of
Okay.
January, yeah.
Correct, it is in her letter
Yeah.
requesting this 15th.
Oh,
So it's only, we only have that.
Just Sunset Club.
Yeah, just that minor discussion.
Okay.
All right.
Um,
I make a motion to close the meeting?
Second.
Adjourn? Sorry.
All in favor?
I.
Aye.
Meeting's closed.